Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors need players to help Stephen Curry in scoring so they can reach the playoffs. The team's moment is confusing, with many injuries to players and a drop in performance for others. Hire a great man. With Chris Middleton, it will be perfect for the Warriors. Chris Middleton is an NBA champion and knows all the ways to win the championship ring again. Rumors: Warriors make high-profile trade to sign Chris Middleton. If the Golden State Warriors wish to help Stephen Curry remain optimistic about the future, they should scour the trade market for a big-time asset. Shockingly, the franchise may be able to acquire a Milwaukee Bucks standout wing in a three-team trade. In a new trade scenario, Jonathan Kuminga and Malcolm Brogdon to the Bucks, Chris Middleton and Jonas Valanciunas to the Warriors, and Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton 2, Lindy Waters 3, and 3 future draft picks to the Wizards. The Bucks make the decision to move on from longtime star forward Chris Middleton, Sports Illustrated's Matt Levine wrote last Friday. This choice isn't easy, but Milwaukee sees a way to get a star player while also adding some extra depth as well. This deal would certainly shift power all over the NBA. Washington would land some nice assets for 2 players that they were considering moving anyway. The Warriors would get another star to pair with Steph Curry and Draymond Green. They also add some size with Valanciunas to help bolster their frontcourt for the postseason. Due to an ankle injury suffered last February, Middleton was forced to undergo off-season surgery and miss the start of the 2024-25 campaign. Middleton returned to the hardwood last month and appeared in the Bucks' December 6 contest against the Milwaukee Bucks, scoring 11 points in 23 minutes. Middleton, a strategic 6'7" forward with a noticeably calm demeanor, is off to a slow start to his 13th year in the league, netting 12.7 points on 44.7% field goal shooting and 40.4% long-range shooting. Still, at age 33, the Texas A&M product could return to his original dynamic form with the Warriors and potentially contend for a championship in the Bay. With Kuminga, a rising star, set to miss ample time with a significant right ankle injury, Golden State may agree to swap him for Middleton. Jeff Teague did not stutter on what Warriors must do with Draymond Green. Jeff Teague thinks it's the end of the road for Draymond Green. The Golden State Warriors are stuck in limbo right now as they're 10th in the Western Conference and just took a brutal loss to the Miami Heat. After having a strong start to the season, the Warriors have had a hard time staying consistent, and it's obvious that they need more star power to win games. Jeff Teague thinks that it's time to make some changes, and one of those changes includes Draymond Green. "It's time to just break the Warriors up, it ran its course," Teague said on the Club 520 podcast. "It started with Klay, once Klay left. Now it's time to move on from Draymond. I love Dre, but they got to load up, they've got to go young, they're not about to win anything, it's over with. Unless they are about to make some big trade and get another superstar or something. If they can't do that, they might as well go young. Ask Steph, does he want to be part of the rebuild, because you're a legend. You can even ask Draymond, do y'all want to be a part of this rebuild, we're going to go young. I'm sure Draymond is going to say I want to go compete and he can go wherever, the Lakers, or wherever, but right now, it ain't looking good." Green has mentioned that he probably has about 2 seasons left playing, and it's possible he would want to retire with the Warriors. If they do want to focus on their future and do it now, there's a chance that Green could be moved. What should the Warriors do for their future? It's obvious that the Warriors are trying to do anything they can to be a championship contender, as they've been on a mission to land a 3rd star since the offseason. Their most recent pursuit was Jimmy Butler, and it's still not certain if they want to acquire him. For now, the Warriors have been trying to work with what they have, and that includes watching the growth of Jonathan Kuminga. If the Warriors continue to lose and don't see any end road, they could look to go younger and focus on their future. It'll be interesting to see if Stephen Curry and Draymond Green would be a part of those plans, and if they would still want to play on a team that doesn't look like they're contenders. Curry and Green look like they'll be on the Warriors until they're done playing, and it would be weird seeing them in different jerseys. Horror trade mistake is starting to really haunt Warriors. The 2X All-Star would have been very helpful right now. With Jonathan Kuminga now on the sidelines for at least the next 3 weeks, there are real concerns on how an already shaky Golden State Warriors offense will function without their second leading scorer. To make matters worse for the Warriors, a 2X All-Star is only haunting them further as fans start to ponder what could have been. Zach LaVine continued his hot form on Monday against the San Antonio Spurs, scoring 14 of his 35 points in the fourth quarter as the Bulls outscored the visitors 32-15 in the final period to win 114-110. The Warriors might be regretting their Zach LaVine decision right now. LaVine is having an excellent bounce-back season after being limited to just 25 games in 2023-24 due to injury. The 29-year-old is averaging 23.1 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game, having shot 50.9% from the floor and 44.7% from three-point range. Monday's 35-point outing was LaVine's third straight 30-point game, and his seventh in his last 11 games. The Warriors could certainly do with that level of offensive production right now, made all the more frustrating by the fact they could have easily acquired LaVine during the offseason. According to NBA insider Chris Haynes, the Bulls offered LaVine for Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins prior to the start of free agency. Golden State rejected the deal, instead choosing to waive Paul's non-guaranteed contract, which allowed him to join the Spurs. Even if they didn't want to give up Wiggins, the Warriors likely could have still got LaVine for Paul and the expiring salaries of Gary Payton and Kevin Looney. So low was LaVine's value during the offseason, and so desperate were Chicago to get off the remainder of his contract, that Golden State could have well got a first-round pick in the process. Trading for LaVine would have likely meant no DeAnthony Melton, since turned into Dennis Schroeder, no Kyle Anderson and no Buddy Hield, leaving the Warriors to sign minimum contract players in free agency instead. Yet given the current state of their offense, Golden State would surely take a 25-point-per-game scorer over a few role players right now. A Curry-LaVine backcourt could have been dynamic, while the Warriors would still have retained Wiggins, Kuminga, and Draymond Green. The Warriors and Bulls could reconvene on a different trade in the coming weeks, with The Athletic reporting on Saturday that Golden State have interest in veteran center Nikola Vucevic before the February 6 deadline. NBA fans react to Steph Curry injury news before Warriors Pistons. It's been a tale of 2 seasons for the Golden State Warriors, as they started the season 12-3 and have since then held a record of 6-15. Whether it's been injuries, inconsistent play, or just poor overall performances, Warriors fans are in panic mode and looking to the organization to see if they respond by making a move before the February trade deadline. Golden State will begin a 4-game road trip on Thursday when they travel to Detroit to face the Pistons as they look to put an end to their losing streak, which is now at 2 in a row. Ahead of this contest, the Golden State Warriors have listed star guard Stephen Curry as questionable to play. Curry, who has missed a handful of games in his 16th season, most recently was sidelined during the team's win over the Memphis Grizzlies on January 4. With it being the first night of a back-to-back, Curry is only expected to play one of the next 2 games. Fans have taken to social media to share their thoughts on the notable update.